Look good on both. Michael, take it away.
Okay, well, good morning, everyone. This is the Monday after Thanksgiving for us here in the U.S. Um, we're doing our Foolish Tech Show like we normally do. It's 8 a.m. We're here primarily to support our software and services. If you have any questions for us regarding anything that we do here at Foolish IT, please come join us in our IRC chat. You can do that at foolishtechshow.com or foolishit.com/live. And let us know, and we'll be happy to, please interrupt us. We'll be happy to pause and address any issues you guys have. We did enjoy a longer weekend here, so I hope everyone out here, at least in the U.S., had a good time as well, and even overseas in those countries that do celebrate this particular holiday. But I want to know how everyone else is. Did you guys enjoy the food and everything else, or just the rest, or what's up? You folks here.
It was a madhouse at my mom and dad's house for Thanksgiving.
Always a lot of drama. I think that's pretty typical. Anything particular to share, or just just a broad statement like that?
Um, no, it's
Yeah, my family, my dad and mom are crazy too, so I can at least relate a little bit. Tank, what about you? You had a good time with your family or parts of them at
Yeah,
least?
yeah. Ate
Cool.
too much and napped a lot.
Yeah, the turkey will cause you to get a little sleepy, I noticed. I notice that every year actually. Um, it's almost the best sleeping pill you can take.
It's tryptophan.
Tryptophan, yeah, that's the name of it. That chemical that kind of slows you down. Um, let's see, what else? Starting to, a lot of people got out and started to do some shopping. Today is actually, I think, referred to as Cyber Monday. So the tradition here in the U.S. is that the day after Thanksgiving is called Black Friday. And it's called Black Friday because it's usually the time in the season where businesses go from being in the red on the books to being in the black on the books, meaning sales are increasing. They're getting rid of their stock. They're certainly starting to see profit roll in. Um, and it's a big sales day, despite Thanksgiving itself not being a particularly capitalist-oriented holiday in and of itself. Certainly, the Black Friday, by being right up against it, does.
Isn't it though?
Well, I mean, with Black Friday,
Isn't it
yes.
though?
I mean, it is, yeah, with the Black Friday part of it, but at least they separated a day out. At
I'm
least.
pretty sure the whole thing is based off a capitalistic venture. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure
Well, yeah,
the whole
if you
reason
consider
we have
the
Thanksgiving
discovery of this
is
country
for
as
capitalistic
capitalist
ventures.
endeavor, but all right, obviously difference of opinions out there. Listen, we're joined. I forgot. Let's see who's in our chat currently. Noam, Filthex, Masori, and Glenn are possibly with us. I'm seeing Filth and Glenn chatting a little bit in there. If you guys need anything from us, certainly let us know. Filthex is asking about buffering. Things seem to be okay on my end. I'm not showing. Oh, wait. Actually, I do show a bunch of drop frames, I guess on the YouTube stream, but it's stopped.
Turn off your mining.
Hmm. Or no, is it still? Hmm. Yeah, there does seem to be something going on here. So, all right. Let me know if it clears up. Hmm.
Oh yeah, YouTube is buffering bad. Like just stops. It looks like it's off more than it's on.
Yeah. No, I mean I've got stuff shut down here, so I really don't know what's going on. Hmm. No, Glenn, it appears to be something on either YouTube's end or this end in some way. I'll keep an eye on it. I try to minimize everything else, so I'm not seeing the frames increase just now, so maybe it'll get better. Maybe it's a temporary thing. Sorry, I think I just...
Is it just YouTube?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just YouTube. It has nothing to do with Twitch. There's no zero drop frames on Twitch, so I would kind of point the finger at YouTube. No, guys, if you're still having trouble, there's nothing more I can do on this end. I'd suggest maybe the Twitch feed and see if that works any better for you. I'm not showing any drop frames on that. But let's see. Let's see. If anybody sent in any tickets over the past couple of days, we apologize for the delay. We'll pick back up here and get caught back up. Like I said, we were off for a brief bit. So, I don't have a whole lot to talk about particularly today. Here's a note out to, have you ever used Skype on Linux? Twitch is cool bananas. Thanks, Filth. Yeah, Twitch guys, jump over to that. I guess YouTube's having some trouble today. It might be all that Cyber Monday traffic. I have 3 speeding tickets. Does that count? Yeah, if you want to talk to us about your speeding tickets, sure, feel free. But yeah, here's a link to Skype on Linux. Apparently, you can SMS from it. That's kind of neat, I guess. Does anyone here SMS from a PC
That's
anymore?
what you lead with?
Well, I just find it, okay, look, Microsoft and Linux being in the same sentence twice. I mean, this happened at the end of last week.
Do you know what happened in San Francisco?
Yeah,
The public transit system got hit
hacked.
with ransomware.
Yeah, the ransomware. Yeah, I'll get to that one.
That's like probably the one that should be opening it.
Okay, all right. Well, as Brantley pointed out, it looks like ransomware has struck the public transit system down there, or over there in San Francisco. It appears, let's see, like it appears that they couldn't receive, or basically all rides were free for Saturday, I think it was, but I haven't gotten an update that that's been corrected as of yet. And apparently they also knew that they were infected for several days prior to it becoming actually becoming an issue. Let's see. Let me get a link. Did you already post one? Yeah, you did, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't check out the, I didn't see the bleeping computer link. Is that one a little bit more detailed? Usually he goes into it a little bit more.
I think it looked like it might be.
Okay, so to about 2,000 of their little less than 9,000 computers were infected. By the way, I rounded up significantly with both those numbers. Well, actually, I rounded down with the first number, but yeah, any tickets to their public transit system, including the vending machines, look to be out. That's a great link, Brantley. Thank you. Much nicer than the other ones. But it's coming from the Examiner. Let's see if they've got anything else. They're demanding $73,000, and they're apparently slowly starting to rectify the situation. But yeah, so this, it really kind of scared some people. Look, I don't think this actually affected the operation of any of the trains. Okay. I don't think this prevented anyone from actually traveling. I think it would have been a bigger, more significant story had it actually infected the infrastructure or affected the infrastructure in some way. Uh, this was certainly had an impact, and certainly a very big financial impact for them, if they weren't able to
That's a pretty big
get it.
portion of the infrastructure, I feel.
Well, but it's the difference between changing your power bill and cutting off your power. It's still it's a big thing. I just don't think
What
that
what do you mean by that analogy you just said?
Okay, so in other words, you can, this was putting some messages out on some of these machines and whatnot. I don't know if that didn't actually impact their ability to drive them. So again, I think it's a little bit less than the end of the world type scenario, but it's certainly a concern. So I guess, did they have to make them free just because the machines weren't working, or was it their goal to make it free? I wasn't quite clear on that.
No, they had no goal. Apparently, like the ransomware authors, like talked to media outlets. That last paragraph on there tells you all about it. He's says they have to pay 100 Bitcoin to gain access back to their network, and he started off infecting a Windows Server 2000.
Server 2000. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. That's pretty bad. Server 2003 was based upon XP. Okay, and that's been long deprecated, or deprecated at this point. So yeah, they kind of asked for it. That's what maybe they need to build in upgrades into their budget. I'm sure when they put this system in place, they conceived it to run for decades and decades and decades. Clearly, they haven't been keeping up with the software updates. Thanks, Phoenix. Yep, we were just talking about that, but glad you could join us on this early Monday morning. Yeah, lots of articles related to that transit system being hacked. Yep, we need to protect our infrastructure here, but at least it didn't cause anybody to be late from work. What else? What else? What else?
Probably related to somebody getting fired.
Oh, I would love to believe that, because maybe people would start to learn their lessons and not click on everything that they can, especially at work, no less. But if this was targeted, if maybe again, I'm not sure that hacker how he specifically did it, the details, but clearly, people should be fired in all these cases, and I've never hear of the how these companies react to it. Nobody seems to want to cover that. Nobody seems to want to go over any internal investigations that they're doing, if any. It just seems like they sort of throw their arms up in the air and say, "Oh, the demons came down and attacked us." Whatever. That's not that's not how things work. If they did in fact fire somebody over this, I would think that's a good thing, but my guess is that probably nothing changes, and we'll just see this happen again to them in a few years. But it is all about money. They probably didn't have the money in their budget to maintain their systems. I'm just suggesting that maybe they should put that in,
I
work
think
that into their
someone got
budget.
fired because that's how government works. Someone's head's got to roll.
Well, someone's head may have to roll, but it needs to be the
I'm
person.
having to deal with this all weekend.
It needs to be the
And
person
on.
responsible.
They're still dealing with it, so they can't charge anybody for rides until they pay to have their stuff decrypted.
Yeah, and they're not going to fire somebody while they can still help to clean up the problem, probably as well.
Maybe that too. You're right.
Yeah, I just thought of that. Oh, for all those Firefly fans out there, let me see. This website was down earlier when I looked at it, but no, it seems to be back up. Yay. Okay, for all you Firefly fans, I'm sorry to say that what's his name? Ron Glass has died. He was the Shepherd, I believe, guy on Firefly and Serenity.
Yes.
He was a cool fellow, very awesome actor. He's been in a lot of other things. He starred alongside a lot of amazing people throughout his career. He's been on All in the Family, Sanford and Sons, Y50, The Short-Lived Firefly, the movie based upon it, and he got started out as Barney Miller, on Barney Miller, and co-starred beside Abe Vigoda. Wow. Pretty amazing. And I'm sorry to hear that he's now left us, but he left an amazing impression, I think, on the world. So hope he's in a better place. God bless him. And he earned an Emmy for his detective role, Ron Harris in the '70s sitcoms. Barney Miller. Cool. Let's see. 2-minute silence, Michael.
For Shepard.
Sorry, Glenn. Yeah, my apologies. We can all have a moment of silence for that. Okay, well, now that we've lost the entire stream, or hopefully not, but we'll return to our regular scheduled programming. Okay, what are your thoughts on this crazy story I saw?
You know who else died?
Uh-oh. No, Johnny, who else?
The mom of the Brady Bunch.
Oh, Florence Henderson. Yes, I did hear about that. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's sometimes referred to as America's mom.
So we have another moment of silence.
Sure. Let's.
Wait, can we add another one in? Because y'all know someone extremely important died this past weekend, right?
Who?
Like, has been affecting world politics for
Oh, Fidel Castro.
30 years,
I'm
40,
gonna
50 years.
skip that one.
Yeah, I
Okay,
don't
I'm not
think
gonna be. Okay, did you guys hear about the Canadian guy? Was it the Prime Minister?
And the fake photo?
What do you mean the fake photo? Was it a fake photo? I didn't.
Yeah, you're about to go off and talk about how Fidel Castro was holding a baby prime minister from Canada.
No, 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 no.
That one.
This is a real story. Geez. Okay, no,
What?
this is what I was talking about. Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau, he basically had a whole bunch. He basically had a love letter for Fidel Castro, a whole speech, uh, talking about him being a remarkable leader. While a controversial figure, both Mr. Castro's supporters and detractors recognize his tremendous dedication for love of the Cuban people and his deep and lasting affection for, and their deep and lasting affection for El Comandante. I mean. Larger than life, a legendary revolutionary and orator. I mean, he has all these crazy things to say and totally shades over every bad thing that guy's done. Yeah, the people loved him and always 100% voted for him in elections because they didn't have elections. I mean, it was him or nothing, and and how he kept his country from advancing. I mean, sure, given the sanctions, maybe you could say that he did as good, as good a job as any. But I don't think that's high praise. And I believe that Canadian Prime Minister dude Trudeau he's getting a lot of criticism for it, and a lot of especially online, they're going the whole let me in memory of Darth Vader, or in memory of Hitler, in memory of, all these things are coming out. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Did I miss the tech spin on this, or?
Of Fidel?
Was this a tech?
Well,
I'm in
we
the tech
started
show.
out. We
Tech show
started.
slot, right?
We started out talking about the Firefly actor that died, which is, not terribly tech, but it is very sci-fi, very stuff that a lot of our people
It's
know about.
entertainment. It's entertain. That's entertainment. That's kind of
Okay.
But then we
entertainment and politics. Ouch.
Um,
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry.
50
I'm so sorry.
politics. I don't think any of us had any. Yeah. So anyway, there's several people have passed recently. Is that the rule of threes? Is that Ron Glass, Florence Henderson, and Fidel Castro? Does that make the three?
How about Cyber Monday?
Uh,
Are you
Does
guys-
that-
Cyber
is that
Monday.
a
It's
thing?
supposed to breach $1 billion this year, although I don't know how they could have put that story out this early, right? I mean, have they already broken the billion mark?
For what? Cyber Monday?
Yeah, I heard a story about that, but how could they say $1 billion? It's last I checked,
Didn't-
well, it's 8 a.m. on the East Coast.
Estimates?
Just estimating.
Yeah.
A lot
Glad
of
they
people
have their
do
pulse.
a lot more on a lot less.
Yeah, this is the same way they predicted the elections. I mean, how do they know whether or not I'm going to get up and buy something today? I don't know. I don't trust those.
Amazon is paying you to buy a dash button.
They have been.
But no, they used to pay you either way you get a $5 promo code whenever you first use your dash button.
Right.
But now you're paying $1 for a dash button. So they're actually paying you $4 to buy and use one of these buttons. Used to that they would just make it basically free after your first use of it. They do have a customizable one that you can get to do whatever you want, and it's focused on Amazon virtual services. But it has been used to make a remote button for turning on and off your Raspberry Pi. Posted about that before.
Okay.
Why, are you disgusted by dash buttons? Them being used for customized purposes besides ordering?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure that I like the concept of the dash button to begin with, but anyway, I'll skip talking about it since I know you like automation and AWS, and certainly it was related to the Pi at least tangentially. So, yay. What about
Michael, you got dash buttons all over your house.
what?
Yeah, I pushed your toilet paper dash button the last time I was there even.
Oh, yeah, you may have. So we've got some self-driving trucks
You
in
may
Ohio.
have.
In Ohio, some self-driving trucks,
Oh,
everyone.
my.
They're going to be doing a lot of testing. From what I understand, they are actually going to have a human in there ready to take the wheel. I'm sure the minute something goes bad, or probably I'd gather sleeping, and being very happy to get the one job where he gets to sleep all day and still get paid. But yeah, good luck, Ohioans. I hope you guys. I hope it goes well for you, and looks like all the truck drivers out there need to start looking for a new line of work.
They already did that in Colorado with a beer delivery.
Yep. So it looks like all the
Mm.
states are embracing it. That's again why I say that if you're in the truck driving business, might not have a job in the near future. Let's see.
I don't know if near
You
future.
sound like you're making fun of someone. Jeez, Michael.
No, I'm upset because of
I'm
upset of automation, destroying jobs. But
Yeah, that's sad.
yeah. Let's see. Apparently now we can travel through space for long distances in suspended animation. Well, that's not really what this article is really about, but I'd like to put a sci-fi twist on it. But anyway, we were able to successfully suspend mouse embryos and revive them. Typically, their pregnancies are 20 days, and they paused this one for 30 days and then allowed it to develop normally.
Sony made a Walkman for Final Fantasy people. I don't see why they would buy that for that. Like,
A Walkman?
yeah, Sony still makes Walkmans.
Oh. What is that, like a
$300
Kindle with
for
a
the 16 gig one.
what? What? Who's buying this stuff?
Apparently, people that like Final Fantasy 15.
I mean, they are launched. Right? That's
Apparently,
the
they have
one
a
that
Final Fantasy branded Audi A8,
a whole car.
a whole car.
You know, I was like,
Okay.
why? I don't even understand why you would want to put a sticker on your car that advertised something that you like.
I don't like any stickers on my car.
You know, why would you get a car that was made to advertise something that you're supposed to like?
I don't know, but apparently only one person in the world can have it for just under $500,000.
Oh,
Wow.
okay, crazy.
Oh, you get a copy of the movie and the game with it.
Oh, what a deal.
So, if you want something slightly more reasonably priced, there's apparently a whole bunch of Cyber Monday deals on consoles today. So, if anybody has kids that need a console,
Anyone that has kids that need a console, tell your kids never and just buy some food or something. It's better.
Buy some food.
so I don't know, did we talk about this? But it looks like the third major or the big Redstone 3 update of Windows 10 is going to bring emulation, x86 emulation to the ARM64 platform. So looks like you'll be able to run regular apps on those devices. Could make those, what were those ARM-based PCs that they had?
But does it have any performance benefits?
Oh, I mean, I'm sure it's not, yeah, going to be as fast as native code, of course, but no, I mean, there's
Yeah, I guess that's
benefits
what I
to
mean.
it.
Is like, is it
There's,
severely impacted by performance?
well, I don't, that's a good question. I guess we'll have to wait and see till it's delivered. I don't think there's any, I don't think it's out yet that I can that's testable, but we'll see what they do
There
with
was
it.
that thing out there that was making it so that, because we talked about running VirtualBox on
Mm-hmm.
Raspberry Pi before and emulating Windows.
Yeah, yeah. I mean but I'm sure they're doing something a little bit probably a lower level than that in this case. I'm hoping, but we'll see. They're equating this to like the Windows on Windows, running basically 32-bit apps on 64-bit Windows. Now, while I guess that technically is emulation as well, obviously it's not quite the same as like VirtualBox. So.
Yeah, that's that. There you go, Glenn. And that's probably the way to do right there.
Yeah, good point. Glenn points out that don't get your kids a console, get them a Raspberry Pi, and tell them to build themselves something. Yeah.
Yep. But since they all got tablets anyway, I did get something, and it's not on a very good sale, but I got it for one kid. It was perfect for it. Just had to have it. I'm just throwing this stuff out there. Little gamepad thing that you build, and it comes with environmental sensors, and you have to progress in the game that it has by code, according to code. Oh, isn't that neat? That was neat anyway. I feel like screenshots. That's all I got to buy. The rest of them are getting an Anchor Power little lipstick 5000 portable power guy.
Brantley, you've got one of those.
Are there phones and tablets that they already got? That coding thing does look cool.
Brantley,
Okay, and you can use it with the Arduino. I never said that right.
Arduino.
Okay. You've got the VR headset, right, Brantley? You've got one of them, right?
I have Gear VR.
Gear VR, okay. And just a question: the display on it when you put it up, I'm assuming it's pretty high res. It gives you a good experience for the most part. Do you have any idea what the resolution is or the PPI? You know.
They don't. It doesn't work like that.
Okay, not at all.
No.
It's a screen, right? I mean, it's got
No. It's not a screen.
I
It's a
mean,
screen split in half and split between your
two
eyes.
eyes, but each screen is still a screen. Anyway,
You can't take the individual screen because it doesn't matter. It's like there's several things that go into VR standard or benchmarking or whatever you want to call it for it.
okay.
You can't just say, "Oh, this is a 1080p VR
No,
experience."
I know that's not exactly the same thing there, but I was trying to get a lead into this article about improvements in VR displays, and I was trying to get to the point to ask you if this whole screen door effect was a problem for you. But
I mean, no worse than like playing video games when they first came out. Like, I guess that's how you could equate it.
okay, well, that's pretty. If I'm considering Doom compared to what we have today, the original Doom, there's been a lot of progress there. I thought the VR might be a little bit more well established than that, but I have yet to play a game. But I'm sure that
Yeah.
it's
How
been
was
better.
VR well established? Like the only thing we've had prior to VR before this was Nintendo's Virtual Boy. Did
Oh
you see
well,
the graphics on that?
no, but
That was a little red
they
dot.
just had a Doom 3 port to VR experience with you can run them with the Vive controllers, wireless, the freehand controllers, and so basically they can port probably most games over to it, and it seemed like a pretty good experience even for a game that totally was designed way prior to VR ever existing. So, and with all the continued release of VR content, I mean, and the fact that there's multiple players competing in the field, I'm starting to believe it is getting fairly well established. But I mean, it's early, and it'll be interesting to see who wins in the long term. But it's got off to a good start, and prices are coming down seemingly. I did that article the other week about the bar for getting in being a little bit lower with new heads, the new sets that are coming out, the VR headsets that are coming out. The need for graphics performance isn't as high as it had been previously, apparently. So let's see what else.
Cards Against Humanity is crowdsourcing a hole.
A hole
Yeah, for no particular purpose.
for people to go jump in.
Nope. There's
Oh, I heard this. This is
digging
the
a hole.
worst thing
Crowdsourcing
ever.
it.
No, this is the worst thing ever. Why people are donating up to, I saw like $15 one donation when I was watching this. So people are spending money to build a hole and then fill it back up, basically to do nothing. And that money could go to feeding someone. That money could go to paying somebody's medical bills. That money could go to just freaking put it in your retirement fund.
It
That
is
money could
going
go
to
anywhere.
feeding someone.
Is
I'm
it?
sure the people that are digging that hole are
Yeah,
going home.
it's given the one guy running that tractor and the one guy running that truck a job, sure, and they're probably getting food as well. But the donations out of this one
How do
article,
you know it's only one guy? Maybe they're
I've watched the
swapping people
feed. I've
out
watched the
every day.
feed. There's like 2 people there. I've watched the feed. Take a look at it. Anyway, $80,000
Watch
that
the
they've already
feed.
raised. Oh no, it's done. They got over $100,000 in the holiday hole.
$100,000.
Wow.
100 grand down the hole.
Yeah, exactly. For absolutely nothing. And it's the most boring thing in the world to watch. I don't understand how this got so much attention. I don't understand how there was something like 7 to 10,000 viewers throughout the duration of it. I don't understand any of it.
How long did you watch the stream?
I was at somebody's place that had it on for
They were watching.
over an
Your
hour.
friends were
Over an
watching
hour.
a hole being dug. I think that says more about who you hang in a company on.
Look, when I'm over somebody else's house, they can put on their TV or their screen, whatever they want
Yeah,
to.
but
I'm
the
not in
point that
control.
they chose to put on digging a hole, and you
I
stayed there
vocally disagreed with
over
it.
an
I vocally
hour
disagreed with it.
watching it.
I vocally disagreed with it, and it made my point heard. And then it was
Did you have conversation while watching the hole get dug, or did you just
yes, because
stare
it's so
stare at it?
boring. That's all you can do is distract yourself from how freaking boring it is. But yeah,
Monetize that in any way?
Mon- I mean, if it was just if they were doing anything that was if they were building something, if they were producing something, if they were.
They built something a hole.
But did it serve a purpose? Was it even for drainage? Did it have some higher
It's
purpose?
for all the homeless people that they could have fed with that money to just kind of put them in.
Dumping people in a hole. Oh, jeez.
I don't
That's
know.
horrible. That's horrible.
It's for the coming, body pits burned. Never mind.
Oh, and I don't.
Yeah, you'll see.
I'm not going to post a link, but No Man's Sky got some updates. I heard Brantley. Those look to add some additional gaming modes, and might make the game more interesting for you.
Yeah, you can build bases apparently.
And some sort of survival mode. I heard. I think.
I don't know.
Okay, fine. I'll post the link.
I already posted the link.
Oh, did you? Oh, we got 2 different ones, so that's cool.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
There was another ransomware story, I think. It's a Lakka variant apparently making its way across Facebook and LinkedIn.
Via image file.
Yeah, but it doesn't. Okay, you might think, oh, they just have to look at an image and they're infected. No, they have to actually download something. It's not that straightforward. Yeah, they have to download it and click on it. So it's. I mean, yeah, and so the implication here, and I can't quite see from the screenshot, but it has an executable extension. So it's yeah, and it uses the Lakka extension. Oh, wait. What? Okay. All right. At the bottom of that story, maybe this isn't. Read the bottom of that R's story there. Does that mean that this is just fake? Or is it just an improper association with Lakka?
What's fake?
read the bottom of that article that I posted.
The update from Facebook.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not really sure what that means. Are they implying that Chrome extensions are causing the problems?
That's what Facebook appears to be implying.
I mean, look, I disagree with them implying that it's Facebook or LinkedIn that's having a problem, because clearly it's just a image file renamed as an executable that's causing these infections that are so, then that's a perfectly common practice. It's widespread. It's nothing new to talk about. I can understand that part, but I'm sure that Facebook and LinkedIn, that there are ransomware, on some users' pages, in other words. But read into it what you will.
So, did you hear about the fake news?
What, that being one of them? Possibly. What?
Oh, it looks like USA Today is down because of this fake news, possibly. Permission denied. I guess I'll have to give you the /dot link, and you'll just have to research it on your own. So apparently, someone sent out a single tweet that CNN ran porn for 30 minutes on Thursday, and from that, it expanded quickly, and several media outlets, without verifying if CNN actually did it, then spread around the internet. And several big places were reporting that they ran porn on CNN for 30 minutes. So easily things can spiral out. Night, Glenn.
Oh, and
that should be taken as completely ridiculous. Of course, CNN isn't going to do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you would have. Maybe it might have happened as an accident, but it's a plausible story, but
it wouldn't have ran for 30 minutes.
No.
And no, they would have caught that way more quickly.
The FCC likes to make money too much.
Yeah, that's true.
If they did that, man, you know how much CNN would owe the FCC?
It would be millions in fines, probably.
Broadcasting porn over television.
If they did that for 30 minutes, they'd probably be out of business.
Yeah, if they did that for 15, 10 minutes, 5 minutes even, the story would be FCC fines CNN into bankruptcy. Oh, so they finally made a good use for that touch bar on the new MacBook Pros. You can turn your MacBook Pro into Kit from Knight Rider.
Okay, so not only can you play Doom on it, right, which we showed on Wednesday, but now Knight Rider. Neat.
That's just what we need. More people with Macs, and the Macs talking out loud to them.
You saw this story? I love HPE's update, but HP Enterprise consultant or whatever lost a laptop with tons of Sailor private information. I think it was 134,000 of our sailors had their personal information leaked, looks like. Yeah, there's no, I shouldn't say leaked. It wasn't. I don't. They're reviewing monitoring for them, but they don't have any indication that the data was actually used in any way. But yeah, I love HP's update though. As this is an ongoing matter, we won't be commenting further out of respect for the privacy of the Navy and their personnel. It'd be nice if they just acknowledged that they were the reason for the whole breach, but they would never do that, of course.
Hey, wasn't somebody waiting on the Hack 5 field kits?
They sent out, or at least I got an email about
Yeah,
them being.
They got updated ones out now, where you get way less stuff.
Excuse me? Really? Less?
Yeah.
And-
From the original field kit comparative to these, yeah, I got a lot more stuff.
Has the price gone down?
I mean, it's still a good deal comparatively, I guess, because you get some little things and a cool bag. But you'd have to get the elite version to get the really nice bag, or the really nice organizer. And that's comes with the pineapple tetra. And that's $300.
I see. Oh wow! And oh my gosh, the other one comes with a Hack RF1. Wow. Okay.
They have one there that has a Hack RF1.
Yeah, and by the way, regarding the comment I made about Glenn and the breathing difficulties, there's that link. I think we covered it already, but
We did, and he said it was the Southerners.
yeah, those Victorians. They have several regions of Australia. Victoria, I guess, is one of them. What else? What else?
Well, I thought it was cool that the force band from Sphero is now able to control IFTTT. So the force band is like a arm sensing band to control the EB8 Sphero ball, but apparently they found out that you can use it to control the internet.
Well, the IFTTT is
Always wanted to control the internet.
if this then that, and it's basically a way to automate tasks, control the internet. It's task automation through social networking and email and triggers and all sorts of things. It's cool. I've seen it used in a lot of Raspberry Pi projects to get things done, like that radio that reads out your Facebook news feeds or whatever.
Michael, I don't think you understand that you can just wave your hand and you control the internet. That's pretty awesome.
Okay. Well, anyway, there's more practical applications of
Control the minds of the people.
IFTTT.
If you control the internet, you control the minds of the people.
The band is $80, and its only real use is to control the BB-8.
The internet? Oh, shut
okay. Read what you will. Fine. I'm just saying. I put a critical eye on that. Listen. If that was just a story about IFTTT, I'd be all over it. That apparently is really cool. I don't find so much in it because I don't do a lot of social media. But if it works for you in your particular project, I think it's a great way to quickly integrate um, a lot of additional functionality into your Pi or other SBC projects. So.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's not just sitting in a box. This is something you wave your hand and you control the internet. That is awesome.
Yes, absolutely awesome.
Like, I'll program mine that if I like wave my hand this way, it'll tweet out Michael's address. If I wave my hand this way, it'll send out pictures of Michael. So Michael,
Why?
I'll hold you ransom. All I have to do is stop, Michael, for spin.
Michael, I just like to point out that you look very default today.
You do look very default today.
I'll go back. Thanks.
She wasn't ready for that this early.
So
Michael apparently had his hand on the video trigger button. Like he was like, "Go back! All right, go! I'm off."
So after two things. So Samsung is apparently looking to bank in on future display technologies, including quantum dot. They just bought this company that specializes in that for I think $70 million. Now this is after announcements too that they're not the most profitable cell phone. They're now under Huawei, that other Chinese phone company. They're now under them as far as having profitable cell phones, and that's, I'm sure, largely a part of their recent problems with their Note 7s and washing machines and other devices that seem to want to explode. But this is a large investment, so we'll see what happens. With them, this might be a way for them to recover from all the bad stuff that's been happening recently with their recalls. I thought that was interesting. But like all competing future technologies, you gotta put the money in the right place, and I'm not so sure it's guaranteed that quantum dot will be the next popular display technology, but it's QD LEDs, so it's probably likely. So there's a good, better than average chance of that happening. The advantages of quantum dots are there's a higher luminance efficiency, so they'll be brighter effectively, rather traditional organic light emitting diodes at any varying color point. They're extremely low powered. They're potentially twice as power efficient as traditional LEDs. They're cheap or inexpensive to manufacture, and they're very thin, transparent, and they have flexible form factors as well. So there's certainly a lot of benefits potentially to it. And if all those things are true, it's hard to believe that it won't, I guess, succeed. Unless something comes in at a cheaper price point, I suppose. But there's that.
Be even more careful when you're if you're out there looking for keygens, because apparently some keygen websites are just spreading a fake keygen that infects your computer with a backdoor. And looks like they're targeting enterprise networks. And they get GATT, GATTAC.
Sure, I'll buy that.
attack. Yeah,
So
although the music may be great, it's not worth the risk.
Did I miss the Windows 10 telemetry FireEye thing? Michael has talked about that.
no, I didn't actually talk about it, but it's funny you mentioned that. That's where basically Microsoft has now decided to sell some telemetry data to a third party, right?
That's where someone reported they did, but it's completely false.
Oh, is it? It was completely false? I only heard the initial part of that story that they were potentially selling that to.
I caught it on the Hacker News, and here's the article. And so at the bottom, they've updated it, and they say, okay, Microsoft denies the claim. They didn't say that. They're not doing that. And then below the update, it says that the newly signed deal with FireEye is the first time that Microsoft has publicly agreed to share telemetry data of Windows 10 users with a third party. And then in the very next sentence, it says, at this moment, the official press release says nothing about Microsoft providing FireEye with access to data collected from Windows 10 users. So they even contradicted themselves night and day right there. But before
Not only that, it says Microsoft has yet to comment on this matter, but clearly they updated it, and not 3 paragraphs earlier.
Yeah, they did. They did put the update, but they didn't update the end of the article.
I know they needed to. That's where that. See, yeah, that's. Oh, Hacker News, come on, dudes, that's not cool.
But yeah, even before the update, those two statements were still there, completely contradictory. It's like, well, where did you get the information from that they publicly said this? If didn't you say they did not publicly say that?
Yeah, I mean, and this is basically a new technology that Microsoft has integrated into Defender, and I don't know much about this FireEye company, but their eyesight threat intelligence might be a great, addition, might be a great feature. I don't know, but
well, and it's also targeted at enterprise, and it's not going to be, I mean, like they're talking about, and you got to pay for it too.
Yeah, well,
also a feature for enterprise. It's not a feature for Joe at home is not going to.
Microsoft is always, though, even more protective against their enterprise customers with things like this. Generally. So
it comes with a bunch of like enterprise level junk that home users don't use or wouldn't need or couldn't use. So domain requiring stuff.
Well, yeah, even that potentially is mitigation if you're not collecting the data, if you're not an enterprise customer. But yeah, this is the problem with all news today. It's that there's
that's all I wanted to point out.
And those, I mean, just completely contradictory statements. Does anybody proofread this stuff, or does anybody It just made me cringe when I got to the end of that article and read those 3 lines.
Says the guy that just posts links without even reading the articles that he's talking about. Do they even proofread?
Well, yeah, no, but I mean, I'm not talking. I wasn't the one who published any of these stories. That's the whole thing.
You're just propagating it.
Yeah, just like this. This is clearly not good, reporting here, and we're pointing it out. So.
Yeah, but you could have just as easily been pointing out the first one, and you probably would with the privacy implications.
Anyway, watch that cool video. I put out a real neat video that was filmed in less than 5 seconds, but they go and slow it down to show you everything that's going on in it. And must have taken quite a bit.
Cool video.
Must have taken quite a bit to set up. The only thing was I didn't quite understand necessarily the message. If it was very artistic, and so I would have thought maybe there would have been something more than just explosions. But
you realize it's a song, right?
I do realize
it's a music video.
I do realize it's a music video. I guess I should listen to the lyrics of the song a little bit more. Maybe that's it.
Have you ever seen OK Go?
No,
They
no, that's my first
just
exposure.
make awesome videos.
So it's a song.
Songs don't relate. What?
Am I missing it with the audio off? Is that important?
I mean, it definitely helps when they slow it down because, like, they
'Cause you
time.
can see them singing and
Johnny
stuff.
had a real big issue watching it because they have to, like, I mean, obviously they filmed an entire video in 4 seconds. They obviously had to make some adjustments as they went along. So it's kind of like a little bit trippy to watch because they like the picture like freeze frames and like they have to cut segments or something.
It
like
is
that.
absolutely trippy to watch.
I'm not so did they outline the type of editing that they did? I didn't get the impression there was a lot of editing done.
In 4 seconds. They did not edit it in 4 seconds.
Yeah, there's so in other words they just had to set it up precisely perfectly, and they probably did several takes, and they got
Michael, to line it up to music, they had to edit that, and that's why the video jumps or is choppy. Is because
I didn't really notice that so much.
they lined it up for the video.
I didn't notice that so much.
Because you were probably just like explosions, pretty colors.
I thought it was well
No,
done.
just think like all that. This reminds me of what you just said, Brantley. Reminds me of the whole Dark Side of the Moon album to the Wizard of Oz thing. You have to you line up on the third line roar. You hit play.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like.
That's what it is.
Listen, but you do
Essentially
understand that
that,
song was
but
recorded. They could.
Pink Floyd got it right. It just goes through. You don't got to pause
probably-
Dark Side of the Moon or
Yeah.
the
Except
show.
it only goes through like half the movie, but
yeah.
almost.
Um,
Some adjustment. We could, but I don't. For some reason, I was thinking they should edit that. There are like a couple of little things that don't quite line up, but mostly everything is, and it's like, oh, they could fix that.
So we have reached our hour time limit. I got one more thing here about interesting gifts for the paranoid. I figured since we have Michael here, they have the YubiKey up there is number one. Data blocking USB cables number two. RFID blocking wallet. And what I thought was interesting was this Blink MK2. It's essentially a $30 programmable USB LED. And it works with IFTTT. I'm not sure how that relates to the paranoid, but
It's a USB blinky light.
yeah, it's
Okay, yeah, I'm looking into this. Well, really, yeah, they kind of go a little off pace with the paranoia there. I think somebody that's paranoid does not want a blinking light in front
It's
of them.
because you can set it to like notify you if you get Twitter messages, or you could notify it.
Oh, that's a good way to send them straight to the loony bin.
Right,
I mean,
because I'd be like, oh, it's not blinking. Nobody likes me. I don't have anything going on Twitter. I don't know what's going on.
yeah.
also
Yeah, I
note
mean,
this is also
if your CPU starts, like if your computer starts taking up a lot of processor usage.
also of note is that this also uses if this then that. So that's cool. Means it is very flexible. For
Oh, so
$30,
that's
I
cool,
guess.
But the force band that controls the internet with it is not cool.
Well, I again, I
Really.
wouldn't give it. I still don't think this is necessarily the best
Michael,
thing
get
for
your
the
priorities
paranoid.
straight.
The paranoid.
You want a USB blinky light instead of a force band to control the internet.
And I'm not so sure the lockpick card is for paranoia either.
It's also
Yeah.
twice as much and contains like virtually none of the items as any other lockpick kit on Amazon.
Yeah, you can get lockpick kits for a lot less with a lot more in them. For a
How
lot.
much is that? Oh, $30 for that piece? Oh my God, that probably costs like all of $1 to make or $2.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, when you use it, It doesn't go back into the card.
Yeah, you're done. You are
It's a one-time
done.
use.
But that the Onion Pie project, that's a good little one for people, for SBC people.
Yeah, that one is pretty good.
But yeah, I guess so yeah, don't buy the log picks. You can get better for cheaper. The blinky lights. I don't know. Maybe you do want to go with the force band bracelet instead of that. Although I'm in big agreement about the wallet blocking.
Well, I mean, if you want the internet to be in control of you, then go with the blinky light. If you want to be in control of the internet, go with that.
And the YubiKey. Yeah, all those I highly recommend. Thanks, Engadget, for the most part at least. What's the idea behind the micro USB cable? What's this?
It just blocks the data ports, so it's charge only. So
Oh, okay.
those
So both
people
of those. Okay.
plugging up to charging stations could have had all their stuff stolen. All right, let's wrap her up for today. Take us on out, Michael.
Oh, sure thing. Join us tomorrow, guys, at 10 by internets otherwise. Happy Monday.
Bye, Internet.